Bill O'Reilly spoke about a $32 million agreement with a former network analyst to settle sexual harassment allegations. Robert Wright for The New York Times. Listen and subscribe to our podcast from your mobile device via Apple Podcasts, via Radio Public, via Stitcher. It's horrible what I went through, horrible what my family went through, Bill O'Reilly said of the sexual harassment allegations that cost him his job at Fox News. Mr. O'Reilly spoke on the record to my colleagues Emily Steele and Michael S. Schmidt, addressing the latest reporting on a $32 million settlement he reached with a longtime network analyst. On today's episode, Emily Steele, a business reporter for The New York Times, Michael S. Schmidt, a Washington correspondent for The Times. Background reading: Ms. Steele and Mr. Schmidt's article about Mr. O'Reilly's $32 million settlement, their first story on Bill O'Reilly, which broke the sexual harassment allegations against him. Tune in, and tell us what you think. Email us at thedaily@knighttimes.com. Tweet me at @MickeyBarb. And if you're interested in advertising with The Daily, write to us at thedailyAds@knighttimes.com. How do I listen? If you don't see an audio player on this page or to subscribe to The Daily for free, follow the instructions below. From your mobile device you can listen and subscribe to The Daily from any podcast player. If you're reading this from an iPhone or other Apple mobile device, tap this link to listen in Apple Podcasts. If you're on an Android device, tap this link to listen in Stitcher or this link to listen in Radio Public. Or if you prefer another podcast player, you can find The Daily there. Here's the RSS feed. From a desktop or laptop, click the play button above to start the show. Make sure to keep that window open on your browser if you're doing other things, or else the audio will stop. You can always find the latest episode at knighttimes.com. The Daily. On Amazon Echo, Echo.at. Open the Alexa app. From the navigation panel on the left, select Settings, then Flash Briefing, then Get More Flash Briefing content. Look for The New York Times and select Enable Skill. Now you can say, Alexa, what's my flash briefing, and you will hear that day's episode of The Daily. On Google Home you can say, OK, Google, play New York Times News to listen to that day's episode of The Daily. Emily Steele and Michael S. Schmidt contributed reporting. The Daily. Theo Balcom, managing producer, Christopher Worth, senior producer Annie Brown, producer Lindsay Garrison, producer Rachel Quester, producer Sam Dolnick, contributing editor Peter Sale, sound engineer NYT Audio Lisa Tobin, executive producer Samantha Hennig, editorial director